Hi, I'm Paola Ranova, creator of the Cardinal Method of Life Connection, and today we're going to talk about money, demystifying money and spirituality. So the relationship between money and spirituality tends to be very tense. Money tends to be a taboo subject in spiritual communities, and also in the academic community where I come from originally in my profession. I see that money is demonized in both spirituality and in a lot of academic fields and academic groups, right? So money is known as a source of all evil. It's a limiting belief that many of us share, right? And if you talk about money, if you even talk about it, if you bring the subject up, you may be labeled as a superficial person or a materialistic person. But the thing is, the first thing I want to bring to this video, the first thing I want to say to you is that money, the nature of money is actually that it's neutral. It's a means to an end. So no means, no instrument, no vehicle should be seen as an end in itself. If it is, there is a distorted value system behind that thought, right? That belief. Means are designed to help us get to an end. The core energy should be the soul, should be beautiful things, should be enjoying life. So money is a vehicle to freedom. It's a vehicle to your survival, to your abundance, and to your prosperity. Because as spiritual people, we are also human beings. So we're incarnated on the physical realm, and our physical bodies need to survive. Our physical bodies need to be protected. So we need resources to nurture our bodies, to feed ourselves, to clothe ourselves, to a roof over our heads to sleep, to protect the integrity of the physical body. So money provides survival. It also provides abundance, so free time to enjoy life, enough resources to enjoy life. That's also something money provides, right? And prosperity, which means you're able to bring more energy, bring more money, not necessarily as an end in itself, but as a means to give jobs to other people, as a vehicle to create more abundance in the world. Because the concept of spirituality in a nutshell is infinite, limitless abundance. So how can we enjoy limitless abundance as spiritual people if we're living in scarcity, if we're worried about debt and repelling the vehicles, the resources that allow us to live a wonderful life on the planet? There is more than enough to go around. The thing about money is that it's imbalanced in the planet. There are not very balanced exchanges of energy and not a balanced distribution of money all over the world for many reasons. But the belief that money is the source of all evil is also a fallacy. It's also a distorted belief system. Because if money comes to a person with a heart of gold, that person is going to do wonderful things with money. Mother Teresa managed a lot of resources, millions and millions of dollars in currency for her charity work. She wasn't repelling money. She was attracting it to create beauty and charity in the world. The Dalai Lama manages resources, right? Tony Robbins does wonderful things with money, helps to end hunger in the world. So people with good hearts will do great things with money. Money is neutral. It will mirror what is in your heart. So the belief that money corrupts a person's heart is a fallacy, because if it corrupts a person's heart, that heart was already corrupted. That person was already poisoning his or her heart, and money just showed it to us. It just amplified it. It just mirrored that already tainted soul. So this is something important to demystify. Wonderful things can be done with money if the person has a heart of gold, and horrendous things will be done with money if the person doesn't, right? We'll talk a little bit more about this in the end of this video, but I just want to bring this to the table to start crumbling away the limiting beliefs that we often have about money. And this thing that money corrupts people is not true. Everything begins and ends in the human heart. So if money's corrupting a person's heart, that heart was already corrupted in the first place. And another thing that's very important to say also is that in the spiritual community, it's a very delicate subject to charge for sessions. People often undercharge for spiritual services, right? Because it's not right. You can only do volunteer work. You cannot taint spirituality with money energy. But let me ask you a question. How do we survive on the planet? Someone needs to provide something. There needs to be an exchange of energy. So what's the difference between donations and paying for sessions, for example, right? A lot of spiritual people survived on donations, and depending on the culture, that kind of makes sense. Vedic culture, for example, really honors spiritual services, and they often, people who receive those services give a very fair amount of energy and money to the people who provide the wisdom that they want. Not the same thing happens in our Western culture. And a lot of it has to do with social control and limiting beliefs that are going to make us powerless if we're spiritual people, for very different reasons and for things that I'm not going to talk about in this video. Otherwise, it's going to be too long. But the thing I want to say is that either by donations or by charging for sessions, there needs to be an exchange of energy. In the beginning of my career as an energy healing professional, in the beginning, we don't really charge because we're sharpening our instruments, we're refining our craft. But as soon as you start seeing results, it's important that you charge. Otherwise, you don't balance the energy in giving and receiving. You'll be donating and giving your energy away and depleting yourself. Adults engage in fair exchanges of energy. This is balance, right? So if you just give, and donate, you're not really valuing your work. So money helps you balance that vibration. It will show how much you feel is your sessions are worth. It's about self-worth and self-value. And also people who value your services. So attracting the right people who will pay enough money for the wonderful high-quality services that you're providing. So making peace with money is very important. When you see it as a neutral energy and not the source of all evil, your life starts to shift. You'll have enough for survival. You'll have enough for abundance to enjoy life, and also for prosperity, maybe founding a business, maybe creating jobs, maybe helping more families with your own talents and resources. So the thing is, often we're highly unconscious about how we're repelling money from our lives. People who think money is the source of all evil, that money is taboo, that it's not spiritual to charge for energy healing sessions, very likely have an ancestral trauma with money. Maybe it's an official story in your family, maybe it's not, but the DNA often holds scarcity mentality because there's trauma with money in the past. And there are many ways to shift this. So depending on how your money mindset is wired right now, you can change that to make your life more beautiful, to allow yourself to live in more abundance, which is the source of spirituality, limitless abundance, and also help a lot more people. And there's also this belief that I need to mention here, that it's morally superior to be poor and that rich people are mean and selfish. The thing about money is that as a neutral energy, and not just money, energies, people, they will flow where they are welcomed. They will flow where there's a magnet to them. So if you're repelling money because you say it's evil, and I've heard this in the spiritual community before, money is boring, I have no time to deal with the money and energy, it's boring. I want to care about the spiritual aspect of life. I don't want to care about the money aspect. That is again a childish mindset, because money is part of adult life and it's neutral. It's something that's part of your path as an adult, right? So if you just normalize it instead of setting it on a pedestal is wrong. That's the materialistic people. But repelling money is not an adult mindset either. So money will come to where it's welcomed. So why are there mean people that are rich? Not every rich person is mean. Not every poor person is wonderful. There are a lot of wonderful rich people, and there are a lot of not so great poor people. These generalizations are lazy mindsets. We need to start refining our intellectual abilities and question many of the belief systems that we repeat without even thinking on autopilot. So what I'm saying is, even if a person is not a good person and attracts money, that person doesn't have a taboo with money. Mean, cruel people who love themselves only and no one else will be welcoming money. And wonderful, beautiful people with hearts of gold who love others but don't love themselves will repel money, will not welcome money, will not think they're worthy. And this is something that needs to shift, because the spiritual community has so many beautiful, blessed hearts and such wonderful souls that are not yet healed with themselves. Maybe it's an ancestral thing, maybe it's a past life thing, but the more you love yourself, the more you give yourself permission to receive survival money, which is only fair if you're providing spiritual services, and also abundance money, because there's more than enough to go around. The more people value your services, the more they'll be happy to pay for them. And also prosperity money, because you can do way more than just survive and just enjoy life. You can also help the world heal. You can help create jobs. You can expand with your prosperity. So survival, abundance, and prosperity are the ends, and the money is just the means to that. So spirituality is about infinite abundance, and there are resources that are available to us as long as we rewire our brains and have a healthy money mindset and put money in its right place, not in a pedestal, because it's not an end in itself, it's a means to an end, but not repelling it either, right? Money goes where it's welcomed. The more you love yourself, where love is, there will be abundance, right? And where there is no love, there will be scarcity. So start thinking about these things. We have so much more to talk about. I'm willing to chat more with you. I'd love to know what you think about this video and this subject. Please leave your comment below and subscribe to our newsletter. The website is here below this video, and it'll be wonderful to see you there. So money is not the source of all evil. It's a neutral energy, and it can be a source of survival, abundance, and prosperity. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you soon.